Rob the jewelry store and tell her make me a grill.
Hey YouTube, today is, she's gonna be my co-host today. Today is Tuesday, June the 5th. And according to my ticker, I have 4 days and 8 hours before I leave. I just packed my bag, both of them. The suitcase I packed for the last time, I promised myself I wasn't gonna stuff anything else into that suitcase because it's done. So I literally have no room to bring anything extra back, which means my mama is gonna have to find a way to put it in her bag. She doesn't know that yet, but I'll tell her. I anticipate, of course, losing like pads and some of the, medical supplies that I'm bringing, so that maybe will clear up some space. Yeah, that's Amara. That's my 8th and final child. She'll be 2 in August. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm done with the suitcase. I still have room in my carry-on, but I just have to put my laptop charger, and my phone charger in there. My safe is already in there, and I saw a safe that a few ladies had purchased. I read the reviews. It's going to do what I need it to do. Hold on, let me get it out for the time that I need it to do it in. I'm not going to use it to, put anything, outside of this trip, anything else in. So it was only $19 on Amazon, 19 and some change. So I thought it was pretty cool. It was like 17 and some change for the black one, but I'm so extra. Pink and purple are my favorite colors, as you can tell by the color of my walls. So I bought this, and some of the reviews you'll read, it says that it doesn't hold a passport, but my passport's in here. It's snug, and it's, it might get slightly bent, but like just a curve. It's not, that bad. So let me open it and show you. Ew, don't be rude. So here's my passport. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there. Hush. So it's in there, and it's only slightly curved. You can't really tell that it's curved at all. So it's going to do the job that I needed to do, which is hold my passport, and my money, not my mom, and my money while I am traveling. And then, yeah, because I don't want to carry, she's been a brat. I don't want to carry the amount of money that I'm carrying just all in my pocket. My mom's taking some money, and I said, Mom, what are you going to do with the money? Oh, I'm going to put it in my pocket. Oh, okay. My mom, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let her do that, since I can't seem to convince her to put it in here. Stubborn old people, but whatever. So anyway, this is my case. I'm supporting breast cancer awareness, so I paid the extra 78 cents for the pink one. And then, yeah, like I said, my bag is pretty much packed. I'm done. I can't put anything else in there. I found some gauze. I added the gloves. I took them out the box because the box was taking up entirely too much space, and just put them into a bag. They're non-sterile gloves anyway. So I put them in a separate bag, and then I think that's about it. I just have to throw a little bit of stuff in there, nothing major, like I said, laptop and stuff. So let me tell you about my experience with American Airlines. I really hate American Airlines, but they were the most reasonable for what I needed. So initially, when I booked my trip through American Airlines, and I'm telling you this because this is something that you might want to take in consideration. Initially, when I booked my trip from American Airlines, is leaving Atlanta at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting to Miami at 7:30, leaving Miami at 10:50 something, and getting to the getting to the DR at 12:53, because I have to be there before 6 o'clock. Now, I was okay with that, Then maybe like I booked on the 23rd of February. And then I had to check. And then on March 9th, I got an email, and American Airlines said, oh, they changed my flight. And at that time, all I was concerned about was if I got there in the DR by 12, I have to be there before 6, so I wanted to be there by 2 just in case. So they didn't change my arrival time in the DR. I wasn't concerned. I didn't look at the connections. So we're going to fast forward to April. I went to Jamaica with 2 of my girlfriends, and on the return flight, the last leg of the flight, we had one stop. We pulled off early, but we sat on the runway for an extra 30 minutes, even though we arrived early. So our connecting flight, we missed. Even though we were at the airport, we were there. I mean, at least 30 of us missed the flight. They did not even hold the flight, even though they knew that we were there and that there was a delay, there were some lines or something. This was in North Carolina. So, that really put a bad taste in my mouth with American Airlines. So I went in to check the status of my flight because I wanted to make sure that they had added the request for a wheelchair on my return flight. And as soon as I log in, it says, check the times on your connections. So I look at the time and it says, oh, well, now instead of arriving in Miami at 7:30, which was the original time, I arrive in Miami at 9:41 and leave Miami at 10:36. Hell nah. So that gives me and my mom, or my mom and I, less than an hour to get off the plane, make it to whatever terminal that they have, the connecting flight, and get on the plane. That's not going to happen. It's not enough time. They left me once. They're not going to leave me again. And then my mom is already in a wheelchair, or she needs wheelchair assistance, I should say. So it's no guarantee that the people are going to be at the gate waiting. There was no real guarantee if the plane was going to take off on time or land on time. I just wasn't having it. So I called American Airlines today, and I said, yeah, okay. So I called American Airlines today, and I said, hey, listen, this connecting flight is just not going to work because I'm afraid that I'm going to miss my flight. So they looked into it and they said, oh, well, we'll go ahead and give you an earlier flight. So now instead of leaving at Atlanta at 7 o'clock, I have to leave at 5:55. 5:55 in the morning. So they said, okay, well, yeah, because they changed my flight, they'll go ahead and change my beginning flight for free, no charges. Sorry about that. My daughter had a complete meltdown, so I had to handle her. But as I was saying, American Airlines said since it was their fault that my connecting flight wasn't to my satisfaction and that it was too much time, or it's not enough time in between the 2 flights, they'll go ahead and change my flight for free. But when it came to my mom, since we didn't book together, because if you looked at my other videos, you'll know that I initially was going to go by myself, and then probably like a month and a half later, I said, okay, my mom can go because she was worried and I was getting kind of scared. Anyway, so she booked her flight separately. So when she booked her flight, she just gave them my record locator number and said, here, mirror this flight. But at that time, they had already changed the flight to the second one. So when we go to change it today, they say, oh, well, since she booked after you and it wasn't a change due to their error, she has to pay $200 on top of the difference of the flight. So $325. Again, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that because she booked later than I did, her flight was not 6:41 like mine was. Her flight was $781. So on top of the $781, she now has to pay $325. Now, I opted to say, hey, listen, the second flight that we're due to catch is still going to be the same flight, so don't change it, and we'll just pay the $50 for the transportation once she gets there. She's older. She doesn't want to go into a foreign country by herself, even though it's only going to be a hypothetical situation if she misses the connecting flight. And then 2, the second flight after that, or the next flight after that, arrives in the DR at 2:11. So she just wasn't having it. She just was not having it. So she ended up paying the $325. Lesson learned again. I don't know. I wish I can't say this enough. I wish that Southwest flew into the DR, because this would have eliminated so many of the issues that we're having with this flight. At any rate, we were able to get both flights together. We ended up getting the 2 seats together, and one less hiccup to deal with. I'm going to pray that nothing else pops off before it's time to go. But yeah, my bags are packed. My kids have all been accounted for. She's leaving soon. I'm going to miss her. Yeah. So that's just my update. My stomach hurts. Like, when I get nervous, everybody knows that when I get nervous, like for interviews and for, just stuff that I don't normally do, surgeries, I always get the bubble guts. Don't laugh at me. Like, I get the shits. And lately, one, I haven't been able to sleep properly. I can't get enough sleep, but when I do get into a good pattern, I wake up out of the clear blue. And then 2, my food is tasting funny to me. Nothing is appealing. And then lastly, regardless of what I eat, I get the shits. It's like bloop bloop. I don't know. So anyway, that's my story. I'm ready. I'm tired and I'm ready. But I'm excited too. Just a ball of emotions. So again, I'll update you guys at some point during the week. It's Tuesday, so maybe Friday or Saturday. And then I'm going to do the dreaded airport video at 5 o'clock in the morning. No, our flight leaves at 5:55, so of course we have to be there. I say 2 hours early, since it's technically an international flight. However, we're not flying straight internationally. But my mom's old school. She wants to be there 3 hours, plus she needs a wheelchair. Who knows? I don't know. So I'll update you guys at some point of what's going on. Yeah. Until next time, say bye-bye, Amara. Say bye. Shh, whatever. Bye.
Had a whole top diamond in the bottom rose gold.
Yo.